Do you fear losing control? Is control an illusion? The short answer is yes, control is an illusion. We like to delude ourselves that we are in control of our destiny. We are in control of what will happen. We are in control of what we'll eat tonight. We are in control of those who love us and those who will help us. We are in control of how much we earn. All of this stuff we pretend we have control over because it gives us comfort. It allows us to move with surety on the steps to progress toward wherever it is we want to go. But it is a complete and utter illusion. And so what we first must do is let go of our attachment to what it is we are wishing for as an outcome. When you are locking down your sense of control and moving ahead toward a plan and it fails, it can be extremely disconcerting because you begin to recognize you're coming into the confrontation of reality, which is you have no control, and your belief system to make yourself comfortable that you have control. Our sense of attachment is what creates this. It happens in relationships, it happens in dreams, desires, all the things that we place upon the world around us. When plans change and we're stuck holding to a plan that we made that is no longer viable, it can create chaos within ourselves because we want to be able to do that thing that we planned. I've encountered people that had so much need for control in their lives that any disruption of that plan became a point of contention within their relationships, within their interactions with those around them because they wanted to control their outcome. That's where they found safety. Now, are we capable of letting go of that entirely? I don't know. It's not an easy thing to do, to live with that much unease day in, day out, knowing that the very next breath you take could be your last. It's a hard space to stay. And so we create these illusions to allow us to act with confidence without having to look at the risk of, I step out this door, I could be shot, I could be hit by a car, I could be struck by lightning, I could be attacked by a bear. I don't know, right? We have no idea. It's the same with every business choice you make, everything that you do. Nothing is really, truly, absolutely in our control. Anything can dismantle us. So what you do once you recognize that is look at the spaces in your life that you are most worried about controlling. I'm not a control guy. That's not been my thing. I like to kind of flow with it. I kind of move easy in different situations. However, there is a space in my life that I kept a tight lock on, and that was my sense of worthiness. I felt deeply unworthy. I'd suffered severe abuse as a kid from the age of 4 to 8 by a boy that lived in our home, a teenager, and it impacted my ability to feel worthy. And I felt that if anyone ever found out who and what I was and what I had done, I would lose everything. And so I locked down that space in my life, and I kept a tight rein on that. And I thought I had it under control so no one would ever see it. But I could see it, and I could feel it. And it would seep into aspects of my life and do things, cause me, in my weakness and my inability to face that, I did things that I regretted and wished I hadn't done. I was out of control while trying to control this space. So if you're like that, if there's some space for you, whatever the catalyst is, there may be spaces for you that you see, I really try to control this to make myself feel comfortable. It's okay to make yourself feel comfortable in spaces that you need, but it is also important for you to recognize when you must relinquish that desire. Adjust your expectations. Eisenhower said, planning is everything, plans are nothing. And so if you are creating plans to control and then you get into a situation where all the plans you have made are now worth nothing, change your plan. Adapt to the situation. Let go of that attachment. Face the new situation with confidence and allow yourself to feel uncertainty and still act. That is a powerful thing. When you can stand on a playground or a field that you don't even know all the rules and still take action, you become a powerhouse. I watched during the course of COVID as I was coaching various clients and things to do with COVID and the struggles that businesses were facing to adapt to the economic change that was happening. And I watched executives freeze in fear, completely unable to act because their illusion of control that they had created in a business climate that they understood was gone. They had to adapt. They had to let go of what was, quit waiting for the return of it because the whole climate of business had changed, and adapt to the situation. But because they wanted to maintain the control and the comfort that they had, they needed to develop the capacity to act in a space of uncertainty, to let go of that confident, we do this, this is the result, and say, this is a plan that we should do, let's take action, see what happens, and then we'll chase that down more because of the fear of not being in control. And I watched some businesses really, truly struggle. That fear that they were feeling and their executives were unable to adapt to the change and let go of their sense of control. In my own life, the way I see this most represented is that sense of unworthiness. And it particularly came to play in my relationships with women. I would not allow a woman to see the depths and feelings and the things that I truly felt were at the core of me, because I did not believe if I did allow a woman to see it, I would be acceptable. I did not believe that knowing the fullness of what I am and how despicable I was, that would be something that any person, any woman particularly, could absorb and love. And so I hid that part of myself. I did not allow it to be shown. And then my ability to connect with someone deeply was greatly limited. My ability to be seen and heard and valued for who and what I was greatly limited. In my desire to maintain control, I lost control. I was not able to flow with the new state. I was not able to act with confidence, and I was frozen, just begging and waiting for someone to love me in spite of what I was hiding. And it was an impossibility until I finally realized that my desire to control this was ridiculous. I didn't have to. And when I was able to step out of that, it changed everything. And now I am building the capacity to show up in every space as I am. I fail sometimes, but I'm able to get back up, let go of that desire to control, and really show who I am, correct it quickly. That's a powerful thing. And letting go of attachment, letting go of that illusion of control and adapting to the new space that you are in is a powerful thing to understanding how to act with uncertainty in spaces where you're lacking confidence because you've lost control. It's all an illusion anyway, so let it go. So I'll tell you a story really of how this changed everything for me, because the essence behind my desire to control my persona and everything I was for women came from my deep sense of poor self-worth, low value, which was enhanced, honestly, for a while at the moment of the process of my divorce. I really began to doubt who I was because of the contention that arises when these things happen. It was painful for me, and I actually had dating apps that I was using, honestly, during COVID crisis to just meet somebody. I'd sit on the far side of a bench and meet them in the park to just talk to another human face to face and look him in the eyes because they had a mask on. And there were a few people that would do that and meet me, and I had felt like generally I was always in control when I was younger and dating in my 20s. I could walk into a space, I could look around, I could say, hey, I'm interested in that girl. I can talk, I can interact, I can pretty much have a good chance of connecting with that person. And I was confident in that. But during COVID, with all that was going on, I really doubted everything about myself, my ability. I hadn't dated in years. I just was like, what am I going to do? I didn't know what to face, and I was lacking in confidence, but I wanted a good outcome. I was trying to control, I was trying to manipulate the presence I had on that page to bring in the types of women that I would be interested in. I wanted them to be attractive and smart and engaging, just like everybody else wants with people they match with. But I was matching with nice, kind people willing to meet me, but I wasn't attracted to any of them. And I didn't understand what was going on. And then an interesting thing happened. I was working on this idea of who I was and how I felt, and trying to create this sense of, hey, this is who I am, without actually feeling it within myself. But about 1.5 years into the process of my divorce, something switched in me. And in that moment when it switched and I felt the difference in myself, that I was okay, I let go of my need to project an illusion of success and all the things that I wanted people to see about me that were good. And I just was like, you know what, I'm good. Here I am, good and bad, for what it's worth, this is me. And in the moment that switched my mindset, without me changing anything on the dating apps I was on, all of a sudden I started getting likes from women that I felt more in line with what I was hoping for. I was surprised that all of a sudden I was getting likes, because it was very hard for me to get any likes at all. I hadn't changed my pictures. I hadn't changed anything that I'd written. And this started happening. And I know that this is a result of me letting go of control and allowing myself to be seen, and understanding that all of this didn't matter. I could act with uncertainty and let be what was, and it was an affirming thing for me. So hopefully this will help you, and you can learn how to break that stuff down. Control is an illusion, so let it go. I'm James. Thanks for joining me.